In a designated area of the Bahai Sea, flying shark fighter jets landed steadily on the deck of the Liaoning, where another group of young pilots successfully earned their night carrier landing qualifications. It is an honor to become a carrier-based fighter pilot and contribute to the nation's aviation development. I also feel fortunate to have this opportunity in our era. Before Zhang Cao's passing, he had expressed concerns about carrier operations. We treat every takeoff as a commitment to his legacy and every landing as a tribute to him. As pilots from the unit where national hero Zhang Cao once served, the motto beside his statue, "Fly for the party and inspire the seas and skies," has long become a guiding belief for Yuan Yang and his fellow pilots. To qualify for carrier operations as soon as possible, they refined every maneuver to its highest standard and accelerated their skill development. To honor the example set by past heroes, they strive to face difficulties with courage, embrace challenges, support the modernization of the armed forces, and fulfill their responsibilities through concrete actions. From land-based flights to carrier takeoffs and landings, and from coastal missions to far sea deployments, generations of pilots have prioritized duty, faced strong adversaries, and shown readiness to meet challenges. During a long-range training mission, a foreign aircraft ignored repeated warnings and approached in a disruptive manner. Upon receiving orders, pilot Zhang Yunpeng and his team took off promptly and successfully escorted the aircraft away. In that moment, I had only one thought to complete the mission entrusted to us. Our carrier-based aviation forces do not fear challenges. What concerns us most is not being given the opportunity to carry out our duties. Only by recognizing and valuing heroic examples can new heroes emerge, and only by striving toward excellence can individuals rise to that standard. Today, more young pilots are working diligently to follow the example of their predecessors and continuously strengthen their operational capabilities through rigorous training. During an air combat training exercise, a pilot was deemed unqualified because he was a few seconds behind the required timing. In aerial combat, everything can change within seconds. Even a 1-second advantage in speed can completely alter the outcome. If we are entrusted with advanced equipment, we must ensure we are at the forefront of developing combat readiness and set a strong example. Since the introduction of new aircraft models, pushing the boundaries of flight performance has become a routine part of training for today's pilots. Although this work involves challenges and risks, they understand that only by exploring the limits of their equipment can they continue improving the integration between pilot and aircraft. Recently, the unit conducted multi-aircraft, multi-scenario training focused on joint maritime strike operations and gaining air superiority, further evaluating and enhancing overall combat readiness. Modern naval warfare has introduced many new characteristics and operational patterns. Facing increasingly complex maritime and aerial security conditions, we continue to study and practice operational methods, promote system integration, increase the proportion of realistic confrontation training, and regularly conduct air combat exercises under the guidance of early warning aircraft to strengthen coordinated operational capabilities. Motivated by the examples of past heroes, a group of carrier-based fighter pilots have consistently taken on challenges, resolved numerous key technical issues, and revised training guidelines more than 10 times. In recent years, they have repeatedly accompanied aircraft carrier groups on long-distance missions to conduct realistic training, demonstrating their commitment through each rapid response takeoff in complex sea and air environments. This morning, the Navy's hospital ship Silk Road Ark, having successfully completed the Harmony Mission 2025, returned to a military port in Sanya, Hainan. This marks the 11th mission of its kind carried out by the Chinese Navy since 2010, and the first overseas deployment of the Silk Road Ark hospital ship. Military music played and red flags were raised in welcome. At the military port in Sanya, Hainan, the Silk Road Ark hospital ship, having completed the Harmony Mission 2025, docked at the pier. Representatives of service members and their families waved national flags at the pier, warmly welcoming the returning crew. At 10 a.m., the Navy under the Southern Theater Command held a welcome ceremony where officers, soldiers, and family representatives greeted the ship's return. During this mission, we actively promoted the principles of the Belt and Road Initiative, strengthened friendship and mutual trust with host countries through professional medical services and sincere exchanges, and demonstrated our commitment to the concept of a shared future for humanity and the ocean, reflecting the Chinese military's dedication to peace and cooperation. Since the start of the Harmony Mission 2025 on September 5, 2025, the Navy's Silk Road Ark hospital ship has spent 234 days at sea, traveling 36,000 nautical miles across the South Pacific, Caribbean, and Atlantic Oceans. It visited Brazil, Chile, Nauru, Fiji, Tonga, Jamaica, and other countries to provide medical services and academic exchanges, completing more than 26,300 outpatient consultations, over 2,700 surgeries, and more than 17,000 diagnostic examinations. In addition to medical assistance, the mission also strengthened cultural exchange and military cooperation by conducting courtesy visits, medical exchanges, and cultural and sports activities with host nations, as well as joint maritime exercises with the navies of Fiji, Tonga, and Brazil. Since the launch of the Harmony Mission 2025, the Silk Road Ark has traveled 36,000 nautical miles, building bridges of cooperation through medical exchanges, enhancing mutual trust through military interactions, and maintaining continuous training during the voyage to strengthen its capabilities in ocean defense support under unfamiliar and complex maritime conditions. This was a joint health exercise conducted in open waters. Procedures such as search and rescue transfers, emergency treatment, and postoperative monitoring were carried out in close coordination, providing a comprehensive test of the ship's Farsi emergency medical response capabilities. We conduct regular, scenario-based drills to refine medical procedures at sea, improve surgical and critical care capabilities under the ship's motion, and ensure that maritime medical tasks can be performed efficiently at any time. During the mission, the Silk Road Ark successfully transited the Strait of Magellan. This marked the first time a Chinese hospital ship had passed through the strait, and the first transit by a Chinese naval vessel in 13 years. Facing challenges such as shifting currents and complex waterways, the crew analyzed hydrometeorological conditions in advance, worked closely together, and gained valuable experience for navigating large hospital ships through difficult straits. The Strait of Magellan presents complex navigation conditions with many unpredictable factors, requiring precise control and coordinated teamwork. This voyage has strengthened the ship's overall long-distance navigation capabilities. During extended operations at sea, the ship's power and drainage systems operated under high load for prolonged periods. During periods of downtime at sea, the crew conducted regular training in areas such as damage control pipe sealing, fire response, and equipment repair, helping them become more familiar with emergency procedures and address skill gaps in their roles. We closely monitored the conditions of the voyage, set training topics accordingly, and coordinated team efforts to ensure that unexpected equipment issues could be resolved quickly, maintaining stable and reliable power support for the hospital ship. In addition to strengthening its own capabilities, the hospital ship actively engaged in international exchanges, conducting joint search and rescue and medical assistance exercises with Fiji, Tonga, Brazil, and other countries to deepen cooperation and mutual trust in both military and medical fields. This deployment not only enhanced the ship's global mobility and long-distance navigation capabilities, but also strengthened the foundation for comprehensive maritime health support, laying groundwork for future overseas medical missions.